Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 2. Let's see how we look in the eyes of God. Read.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 2. Keep my commandments and live.
God says keep his commandments and live. Read.
And my law as the apple of thine eye.
And his laws as the apple of his eye. We ought to keep God's laws as the apple of his eye. Right. How you doing, sister? That's a beautiful pic you got there. How you doing today? Do you know why we are here today? We are Israel united in Christ. What's your name, sis?
Veronica.
Veronica? My name is Rock. We are here to wake up God's chosen people in the earth. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You see this sign over here, sis? These are God's chosen people. These are the 12 tribes of Israel according to the Bible. Did you know that you was an Israelite according to the Bible? What's your nationality?
Black.
Black. Black. Black is a color in a crayon box, Veronica. That is not a nationality. Because when you look in the Bible, God lists out the nations that he created and put on the earth. Black is not one of those nations. But the Israelites are.
That's right.
You call yourself black. Well, guess what? You very well are from the tribe of Judah. The so-called African Americans, the blacks, those are the Israelites according to the Bible. That is your nationality. That is your identity. That's who you are. That's what you haven't been taught in this society. Because I asked you nationality, you said black. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. I'm going to go into the Bible and show you why you called yourself black and not what God calls you in the Bible. Read what you got.
So the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
This is a prophecy in the Bible. This is a prophecy. The Bible is a book of prophecy. God said that you would be discontinued from your heritage. What does a heritage consist of? Your nationality, your land, your language. Everything that belongs to you, you would be discontinued from. Discontinue means to be cut off. That's why you call yourself black, a color out of a crayon box, and not Judah as the Bible records.
Right.
The same way with our so-called Hispanic brothers. They don't call themselves the tribe of Issachar as the Bible records. Read it from the top.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Oh, Sister Veronica, God says you would be discontinued or cut off from your heritage. Do you attest to that you've been cut off from your heritage? Okay, let's keep reading and see. Read.
That I gave thee.
That God gave us. God gave the blacks and Hispanics a heritage. He gave them a nationality. And that nationality is Israel. Read.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Not only did God say that he would cut you off from your nationality that he gave you, but he also would cause you to serve your enemies. Come closer right quick. I want you to look at these two signs right here. These are pictures of your foreparents, your forefathers, and your foremothers. God said that he would cause us to serve our enemies. What do you see on these signs right here? You see our people with chains on their necks, right? You see our people picking cotton in the slave field, right? Our foremothers, right? Picking cotton, right? Our forefathers being sold on auction blocks with a bid of sale, cash, for Negroes, highest price, right? That's us being discontinued from our heritage and being sold to our enemies. Read.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
God says that he will cause us to serve our enemies in a land which we know not. Do you know the history of your foreparents, of how they came to America? You never learned that in school, huh? They didn't teach you how we just miraculously showed up in America, right? Right? As a people, we just miraculously showed up here, right? You ever seen the movie Roots? You ever seen 12 Years a Slave? They love to show those movies, right, to try to mock the oppression that our people go through or went through in the past, right? But you see these pictures? That's what happened to our people. This is real. This is facts right here. This isn't make-believe.
Right.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and get our sister Veronica, the history on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the Bible. Go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1 first. I'm going to show you that this Bible is your book, Sister Veronica. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan.
So these be the words that Moses spake to all Israel. You ever heard of the prophet Moses? Did you know Moses was a black man? You did? Because here in America, every time that I've seen Moses on a movie, he was a Caucasian with blue eyes and long stringy hair. Or when I go on Google and I type in the word Moses, I never can find a black man.
Right.
It's always a Caucasian. Even when I'm searching online, I put in Jesus Christ. It's always a white man. It's never a black man like the Bible records. Read what you got. Read it again.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So Moses, the prophet of God, a black man, was speaking to Israelites, black, Hispanic, and Native American people, people of color. He's speaking these words to them, meaning that this Bible was written to you. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Start at verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
This is Moses still speaking to the Israelites, Veronica. Listen up.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Veronica, Moses is speaking to the Israelites. He's the man in charge. He's the head, okay? He's the leader at this time. He's telling his people, God said, keep the commandments or you'll be cursed as a people.
Right.
So when you look at our people today, are we not cursed as a people in the earth? And I'm not talking about just on an individual basis. I'm talking about nationwide as a people. Because I know you watch the news, right? You watch the news lately and you see what happened to our people, right? You can never turn on the news, the 10 o'clock news, and it ever be good information or good news. It's always another black man got killed.
Right.
It's always another knee on the neck.
Right.
It's always another shooting that happened by accident to a black man that was just walking across the street.
Right.
It's always bad news when it comes to our people. Read it again.
But it shall come to pass. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Moses said, if we don't hearken to God's voice, meaning the words of God, what happened?
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses told his people, if you don't obey God, curses are going to come on you as a people. Generational curses. Generational curses. Because when I look around in our communities, what do I see? I see our people strung out on drugs. I see our people sleeping outside in tents up on the bridges. I see our people barely making ends meet when they work their jobs. It seems like their whole check goes towards their bills, and they have just a little something just to have a little bit of fun on.
Right.
That's what's happening to our people here in 2022. Because we are cursed because we didn't keep God's commandments. We literally have a fear of our lives when we see the police passing by.
Right.
When we drive our vehicles, we don't even know if we're going to even make it home because we might get pulled over and we might move a certain way and be dead the next minute.
That's right.
Give me verse 32.
Verse 32.
Because these curses was generational. Read what you got.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
I asked you earlier, have you seen the movie Roots? You said yes. You remember Kizzy when her children were separated and sold to the slave master? God said that would happen. The color purple. You remember when the two sisters were separated? Right? That's what happened. In 12 years a slave, they had the young boy up there doing the jumping and stuff because they was selling him as good property. So kind of like they do today in the NFL.
Right.
They have the NFL combine where they have the players come out and they got to jump up as high as they can. They got to show off their skills. They got to do as much as they can to look good so that the person buying or drafting them, similar to buying them, so that they can go into the pros. That's what they did to our foreparents, and God recorded that in the Bible. He said, your sons and your daughters will be given unto another people. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long.
Because when our parents lost their children, what happened? They was crying for them. God said that we would cry for them. We would mourn for them. Think about today. Are not children being taken away from their parents today? With CPS, they'll take the children if they don't deem you fit to take care of your child. What's going on with our Hispanic brothers and sisters of the Northern Kingdom, the tribe of Issachar? They're in literally concentration camps,
right,
being held in cages, being separated from their fathers and their mothers, and being taken back to Mexico.
Right.
Ain't that funny that they doing that today? But they just let a whole bunch of Arabs into America, gave them houses, giving them jobs. But when it comes to our people, we can never find rest.
Right.
Ain't that funny that they let all these Arabs come over here? But then our people, when we was at the border, what did they do? They sent us back. After that long journey through the jungles, trying to find rest in America, they didn't offer us jobs. They didn't offer us resources. They said, they got on horses and was whipping us like slaves.
Right.
Are you a descendant of two white men? No, you're not. So why do we call ourselves African American? Because that's what they labeled us as. But that's not what God calls you. God gave you a name. He called you an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's who you are, Veronica. That's what you be. That's what you be. You understand?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.